Hi, students and families. It is now Tuesday, May 12th. I have to look at my calendar every day when I say that, when I'm making my videos, because I never know what the date is anymore. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope that you treated your moms really well and were on your very best behavior for them. I know they work really hard to make sure that you have everything you need and your life is great. So hopefully you honored your moms this weekend for Mother's Day. Okay, so today, and I got my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, got me some new pearl earrings. They're not real, but they're cool. So that was special for me. Okay, so today, guys, we are going to just kind of work on applying all the skills that we've talked about throughout the school year and throughout our e-learning process. Okay, so we've talked a lot about decoding and encoding. Remember, decoding is when you solve words that you don't know. Okay, so you figure out the words that you don't know what they are. Encoding is spelling words that you don't know how to spell. Okay, so we use strategies to help us do that. So that's what we've been working on throughout most of this process. Okay, so for Tuesday, today, this is going to be your only video of the week. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about today's lesson, and when I get finished with that, I'll talk to you a little bit about what you'll do on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, so today, all you're going to do is you're going to read a couple sentences, and then you're going to write a couple sentences. Okay, so you're going to work on your decoding, and you're going to work on your spelling. Okay, so I want you, when you're reading the sentences on your worksheets today, I want you to really try to work on just internalizing all of the skills that we've worked on. Okay, so when you're reading the sentences, instead of actually going through the entire decoding process where you write the word on the paper, you find your first two vowels, underline and mark them with a V, instead of going through that whole process, I want you to try to just visualize the strategies that we use. Visualize, look for your vowels, visualize where you think you would break apart the word or where you should divide the word. Real quick, try to think about the syllable type that it is. What's your vowel going to do? Is it going to be long? Is it going to be short? Is it a bossy R? What's it going to do? What would make sense in the sentence that I'm reading? And just kind of go for it. Okay, so as you're going, when you're working on your worksheet, if you simply just can't figure it out by just trying to visualize the strategies, then write the word on the paper and go through the decoding process. Okay, but before you go through the process, I want you to try it by just visualizing the process. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean with one sentence, reading one sentence, and then we'll talk about writing. Okay, so I'm going to read this sentence to you as if I don't know what a couple of the words are. Okay, and I'm going to kind of talk to you about my thinking process as I go. Okay, so remember, we don't want to point as we read, like poke the paper. If you need to use your finger, slide it. Okay, when you poke, you sound like a robot when you read. Okay, so the hamster likes to run on the wheel. The hamster likes to run on the wheel. Okay, so what I did there, as I was sliding my finger to read that, I kind of broke it up real quick. Okay, figured out, I knew in my head that's a closed syllable. I know it's going to say ah. That's a bossy R. I know it's going to say I covered my ending. That's a strategy that we like to use when we read when we don't know words. Cover your ending. Okay, so I covered my S. That's a magic E, so it's a long I. Okay, so those are the kinds of things that I want you to work on, because we all know when we're actually reading books for enjoyment and things like that, we're not going to write down every single word that we don't know and go through the decoding process, but you should be able to start visualizing it and figuring these words out without doing that. Okay, but if you can't, that's okay. You just need a little more practice, and you will just write the words on paper and go through the decoding process, and then you should be able to figure it out. All right, so that is decoding. Now, real quick, I'm going to write a sentence for you because for your assignment today, you're going to have to do a little bit of writing, okay? So the sentence that I'm going to write is, it's kind of, some of them are silly sentences, okay? Gail will complain if the mailman is late. Okay, first step, pound the syllables, not the words, the syllables in the sentence. Okay, remember the opposite hand you write with, okay? Gail will complain if the mailman is late. Okay, first syllable, Gail. That's a name. Remember, a lot of names break the rules, don't follow the rules. Gail does follow the rules, okay? So I've pounded it, Gail, one syllable. Now I'm ready to write it. I can write it while I finger tap with my offhand, okay? Always start with your pinky. G, I must capitalize A because it's the beginning of a sentence, B because it's a name, okay? G-A-L, so A, I only tapped once, but I'm pretty sure that that long A is a vowel team, okay? So Gail. Now, you don't know that for sure. You might have written a magic E, Gail, okay? That's okay if you did that, okay? Because that would make sense too. They would both say Gail, all right? But usually the name Gail is spelled with a vowel team, okay? So Gail will Now, I only finger tapped once because I only hear one sound, but Sammy rule. Sammy loves friendly zebras. One syllable, one short vowel, and it ends in one of those letters, Sammy letters. Loves, double it. Okay, that's why Will has two L's. So Gail will complain. That's two syllables. So first one, calm. Okay. I'm literally writing it as I'm tapping, okay? Second syllable, plain, so I'm still in the same word. Second syllable, plain. Pull, that's a blend. I hear two sounds though, pull, P and L, pull, pull. Now I know this just because I've been a lifelong reader. I've been reading for 30 years, okay? Not really, probably like 25, not 30. I couldn't read when I was a baby, okay? Now, if you wrote it like this, that's okay. That means that you are really thinking, okay? You might have written it like that, all right? But this word complain is actually spelled with the vowel team, which makes it a long A, okay? But if you put a magic E to make it say ain, they both would say complain. This is just the correct spelling. It's okay if you did it that way though, okay? So Gail will complain if, that's an easy one. If remember can't finger tap the, doesn't follow the rules, all right? The mailman, first syllable, mail. You've got to make sure, even if you've just tapped once, you've got to make sure if it's a long vowel, you use some sort of spelling pattern that makes it long, okay? So if you put M-A-I, that would be A. If you put M-A-L-E, that would be A too, okay? So if you use a vowel team or a magic A, you're still doing something to make it follow a rule, all right? Man, mailman. So Gail will complain if the mailman is, excuse me guys, sorry about that, is. Now, is sounds like it doesn't follow the rules because it says z, but we know that sometimes S at the end of the word makes the Z sound, okay? Late. I only tapped one time because I hear three sounds. But you should be thinking, if you're taking pride in your work and you're really working hard, you should be looking at that and saying to yourself that there's no way that could say late because that's a closed syllable and that's a short A. That would say at. You've got to do something to make it long. Okay, so I'm adding a magic E because I know that because I've been reading for so many years. You might have added a vowel team, okay? But the more you read, you'll become familiar with more words, you know, and you'll know which words use vowel teams, which ones are magic E, things like that, okay? So Gail will complain if the mailman is late. All right, so that is how you encode. You pound and you finger tap, okay? So for today, you're gonna have a worksheet, all right, and you're gonna have a couple sentences that I want you to work on just reading, all right? You might have to read them a couple times to really read like you talk, okay, instead of it being choppy and robotic while you're reading. And then you're gonna write a couple sentences, okay? And then that's what you're doing today. And then tomorrow and Thursday, so Wednesday and Thursday, I'm not gonna make a video for you, but you are gonna have something that you will read. It's just a little fluency passage, okay? So just a little passage that you're gonna read each day. It's different. There's a different one for Wednesday and Thursday. And then you're gonna have a little worksheet that you're gonna complete that asks you to locate in the passage some of the rules that we've been talking about. So for example, tomorrow you're going to read a passage on Wednesday, and after you get finished reading it, you'll, on your worksheet, you might have to locate a word that follows the same rule, or you might have to find a couple of vowel team words or something like that. Okay, so Wednesday and Thursday, the goal that I want you to work on Wednesday and Thursdays, I want you to work on reading like you talk. Okay, that's called working on your fluency. If you're a fluent reader, you don't read like this, you know, read like that. You also don't read super fast like this, okay? That's not good fluency. Good fluency is basically just reading like you talk, okay? The better that you get at that, the more you're gonna understand what you read and the more you're gonna enjoy reading, okay? So your fluency is probably not gonna be very good the very first time you read a passage. So you might have to read a passage 2 or 3 times, or maybe 4 or 5 times to really feel good and strong about it, okay? So that's the goal. I just want you working on reading like you talk, all right? You might have some words in the passages that are hard to read. Try to visualize decoding them as you're reading. If you can't figure them out, go through the decoding process, okay? That is it for this week. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me, or most of your parents have my cell phone. You can message me on Schoology or send me a text, shoot me an email, whatever works best for you guys. Have a great week, and let me know if you need anything at all.